Welcome to Livingstone's channel. My name is Belinda and it's coffee time. So for a very long time, I've been wanting to document my life, and the easiest way for me is they call it scrapbooking, but I call it visual journaling, visual journaling, and leaving a sense of I want to say legacy, and because life is a fast paced, it's very fast paced, and I've noticed as you get older, then you tend to enjoy the quieter and a much slower pace, so that you can reflect on the goodness of life actually, and just it's just the season that you're in. So I was born in 1966, which basically means in this year, 2026, I'll be 60. And so maybe one day someone will be interested in what I got up to in my life up until this point, thus far. It's called the Ebenezer moment. It talks about this in the Bible about a guy. Now I forgot his name, but it's when the Israelites got to a certain point. Now I might even have that wrong. Do you see? But I remember the story of the stone. It's like a memorial stone, and it's Ebenezer written on it, because it's thus far God has helped us. Thus far God has helped me. Up until now, He has always been there, even if I didn't know it. And He will go before us as well, and He will be there for the rest of our life, eternity, as we serve Him as our Lord and Savior. And so grateful and thankful for His perfect, beautiful rescue plan when He sent Jesus to in our place for our sin. What a lot of mercy is given and grace every single day. So I'm going to go through this scrapbook and show you some of what I was up to in the last 60 years. And I hope you enjoy it. And maybe you have questions and you can put it in the comments, subscribe, share with other people who you think might be interested to spend some time here on the channel. And that's really what it is to take the time out and listen to someone else's stories. And I appreciate your patience always when you do actually watch the entire thing. So here we go. I'm going to do it in picture format, and maybe press pause every now and again. But get your coffee, your tea, and settle in and see where this story goes. Well, there you have it. This is a scrapbook, they call it, but it's going to be a memory making book, and literally just keeping some history of who Belinda Ann Weber is, and I'll take you on a little journey, and I hope you enjoy this journey as I flip through this file. So there I have a first page. Born 1966, and in August, on the 7th day. It says here, groenbruin or hazel. And that's my color of my eyes, and so on. This is actually a snap out of a passport. And this is just also telling, this is a stamp when I got married in 1994 on the 9th of April. And my husband's name, oh, sorry for that. My husband's name is Paul Derrick. So, if you can see, this is how it's going to unfold. I feel that this will be for me personally, just a nice way of remembering where I was born and so on. So this was Electric Road. We are sitting on this car, and so you will see that there's actually like a butterfly that flies through this entire journey. And it's, in a way, that's what it's like. When I look at how many photos I have of myself, I go on this journey to sort and then bin and do this visual journal of all the photos I wanted to save. There are no photos of our wedding day because there is another photo book dedicated to that special day. And there are a few gaps maybe in this photo story, and that's also okay. So follow the butterfly from page to page, and the order is not actually 100% correct as in chronological order, but mostly this butterfly goes through the ages from, as I said, 1966. And I was born to William Patrick and Lorna Georgina Hutton. The photos stop around the time Sean was born in 1997. And that is my son, who was born in 1997. Yes, there is another photo book that holds a whole story about the children and when we stayed there for, I think, 23 years. We stayed there from 1993 and left again in 2015. So, as you can see, when you're doing visuals and journaling and just taking what you have and wanting to put them in a book for future generations and for yourself specifically, I feel this is such a blessing for myself, just as I get time to reflect on life. And where I am still going is an adventure, an absolute adventure. So here at Electric Road, where I was born, and my first home with my mum and dad, and that was in Wynberg in the Cape, Western Cape in South Africa. And it now actually is where the police and magistrate court is today. So we moved eventually to my second home. I think it was probably around 6 years old, and that was called Cavan Road, also in Wynberg. And when I think back on just zapping through to when I actually left the Wynberg area to go live in Rondebosch, it was 1991 already. There I owned a bachelor flat for about 3 years, and then I sold it, and that's when I got married in 1994. So there's childhood photos, and you'll see my sister and I. You'll also see that my Uncle John and Denise's home in Simonstown was also a place we used to visit a lot, and especially our time when we used to go to the caravan park at Miller's Point. And therefore such a love for caravans, and this is where I'm recording it, in the Gypsy Bee. And we used to go weekends away in my mom's first car, which was called a Consul. It was black, and that was our mode of transport to go to the beach and stay the weekends and sometimes long holidays in the caravan park. So you'll see also my photos from school and me in my Springfield school uniform, and other sports days tell of an era I fondly remember. Also my best friend named Susan Hackham. I also have my sister Susan and my dear friend, Portuguese friend in the neighborhood in the same street, grew up as Cecilia. There are a few photos of our trip to Durban as well with my sister. So when I was finished matric in 1984, I started to work at a place called Southern Life, and I studied at the Cape Technikon College, and I qualified in 1992 as a computer programmer. I also put ha 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 there. So yeah, I did do some studies and became a computer programmer, and the ha 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 I will explain later. I travelled for the first time overseas in 1990 with a long-standing work friend Bernadette and my mom, and we love to dance, as you will see. A good portion of the photos are all the days that I had many days in the fitness league. Qualified as a teacher in 1987. I was 21 years old, and we had trips to the UK, Europe, Ireland, and so on, Scotland, and that's particularly when we went to go and dance in the Albert Hall, the Royal Albert Hall, in the years 1990 and 2000. So I wrote this as a forward, and it also says that you'll see photos from Hermanus holidays, and when we went in 1999 as the Weber family, and my maiden name is Hutton, Hutton, and we went to a place called Riviera Club, which is not there anymore. It has been demolished, but it was a wonderful destination because that is where Paul asked me to get married on the 21st of May 1993. So let's start paging through and having a quick look at literally my first steps as well. These were interesting days, and these are memories that, if you didn't have the photos, you probably I wouldn't necessarily remember them, but my uncle was a lovely photographer and always took just about monthly of my sister and I and the family as well. And here is me at the next house in Cavan Road. I think this is a photo of me actually practicing to do the races with the potato on the spoon. Sometimes it was an egg, but this one looked like a potato race. So yes, I will zoom in and show you these as well. Here's a lovely memory of my sister, Susan, and precious memories. As we go on, we always had photographs taken of our birthdays, and yes, birthday parties and birthday cake. Oh my goodness, it was special because we had to always we were always asked what kind of cake we would like, and we would get a butterfly cake or whichever one we would like. And my aunt used to do quite a lot of the baking for us. We had a Wendy house that my sister and I played in, like a doll house, and that was a lot of fun. My children ended up even playing in them at a later stage. And there's the black car down here, which I think what I should do is I will have some, need a camera person here as usual. But yes, there is the black car, and we had a cat. My sister and I are sitting on the bench with the cat, and here is my mom dressed up as one of the school kids as well, with my sister and I in our school uniform. And right, so yeah, school days, and I think this photograph is actually just with me when I broke my nose. So going over to getting a little bit older, my 21st birthday party. I remember having my friends over, and yes, dear friends, sitting under the Christmas tree, and so on. Springfield Convent is where I went to school, went on camping trips for school, and I also loved swimming, and I still do love the water, and an art competition. And here's 4 generations, and that would be my mum and her mum and her mum. Amazing picture of 4 generations, and so on and so on. Look at this hair all permed up, and going to a matric dance as well. And I just felt that it was wonderful just to keep a little bit of, yes, who I am, and maybe it also encourages you to also do a book like this for yourself. So loved the swimming pool, absolutely loved. We were so privileged to have a pool next to our house, and here again, 4 generations, and just wonderful to be able to have the connection time for a long time, to have been able to know my great-grandmother. And then some fun photos. There's Dad and Mom and myself of my 21st cake, and that was for a wedding. I was a bridesmaid, and here was where I got my scroll to say I'd passed a computer data processing course and at the technical college. But as I said, ha ha ha. Yeah, it wasn't my first love, but it got me the job, I suppose, as well. And that's going back a little bit further, and reflective face. And yes, jumping to the wonderful camp days and the love for caravanning and the beach and the sea, Miller's Point, and here jumping to Durban. Also had time to go as a tourist, but also used to work in Durban off and on. My first mango eating and the adventures with my sister, and yeah, wonderful reflection time. And then off to London. The first time was in 1990, and here's just a write-up about the team that went to London. And here we are, a lovely photo of Mom and I in the Royal Albert Hall. We snuck in and quickly took a photo right at the end of us, and we were sitting right in the center of the stage where the lights were off already, and the bus was actually waiting for us. And we went off and traveled a little bit more at different stages. We went to Ireland and to Europe. Some of our friends, saying goodbye to them when we carried on with our travels, Mom and I. And another time I went in 2000 2000, yeah, in 2000, there's actually a performer's pass for the Royal Albert Hall. It says 15/4/2000, so it was April when we took part. Look closely, maybe, that you can see that's me there. There's a huge group of people that would do the opening number, and we had these amazing, interesting costumes for our number, representing South Africa. And yeah, lots of fun. I think over 2,000 people learning the same sequence and then presenting it at the show. Here's my mom passed out. She wasn't feeling so well, actually. And there we are. We had these big shakers and pom-poms, and there's the tower, and so on. And one of the first, as a teacher, choreographing an item called Eye of the Tiger. I'm sure you know that song very well. Good friend Petra, and Phantom of the Opera. So many lovely memories of different items that we did. Here's a picture of Mom and I and my sister, and also here just the different things that we did. Here's a lovely photo of a time where we used to go and just be props. Can I tell you that? Props at the university, where they were learning different types of steps. Like, for instance, in this era was like the Baroque era, and we were just doing as props, as I say, and just giving the students an idea of what it was. We learnt it, and then the teacher would demonstrate with us, and just explain the different. I think they were studying dance, obviously. Here's a celebration of 10 years of a class that I started in Wynberg, and I went on to be, I think, 25 years. And yeah, well, that's where I started. It's my daughter Caitlin there. Lovely to just have your family involved as well, from one generation to another generation, and the love for dancing. And here you can see we worked with ribbons. There was also these the long playing LPs. We used to use those as well. So wonderful memories. These are the kids. We I was taking the children in the school, and they also were such a blessing, and got their certificates probably for the year. And another colleague of mine, just keeping it in the family, my sister, my aunt, my sister-in-law also being part of this wonderful thing called movement. Movement is life. It really is a blessing to be able to move and be part of a huge group of people who loved to dance, exercise. This is when we went to Miller's Point, and also just lovely memories of just hiking and enjoying the mountain hikes. This is also back to the caravan with the kids, and there's my husband, Paul. And this is the Romanus trip where we got engaged. And there's our little Sean when he came along, and so on and so on. And this place was eventually pulled down, demolished, as I said, and we had our last family dinner there. And what a lovely memory of having everybody in one space. We took the children on train trips, and these are just reflective moments. When I got married to Paul in 1994, we had a little beetle. Did we have a Ossawa, a voetrekker, just for fun, probably just sitting in one of them in the many trips we took, and just having a good laugh as we would holiday and spend fun times, especially in that combi as well, and even a microbus at a later stage. Lovely times in holiday mode. Here are just more photos of Paul and myself, and when we moved into the Monte Vista area, some really crazy times and having fun with the family, and starting to just be ourselves, part of a bridesmaid of my friend Bernadette. Then we went into sort of professional dancing a little bit more, wanting to take part in the competitions. And we had an instructor who put us through the paces. It's a lovely photo. I just got baptized here. And that's a long time ago. That was when I was 30. That's 30 years ago, my birthday and my cake. And now, as I said, I'm doing this when I'm about to celebrate 60 years. This is when I was pregnant with our first one. And we had these wonderful parties, the family parties. We would just hire a hall and have dress up and themed ideas. Here we are, themed ideas of just being nautical, or however we felt to dress up and have a good time. This is us practicing for our exams. So when I met Paul, and when I met Paul, he was attending dance lessons. What a surprise for me to be able to waltz into my dream of having a dance partner on and off the dance floor. We took lessons and competed at local and provincial levels, and often the oldest couple on the floor. Age did not matter. It is never too late to dance. So, we might have been the older couple, but we could take a few cups away and on I go with just exposing the next vision about the school called Papillon, which began in 2015. And I talk about the butterfly. And the butterfly begins to take shape as a symbol of a dream, forming to one day see a dance school open for the young and the old, a place to discover the freedom to worship God and fellowship with others who desire to follow Jesus and find their purpose in Him. True purpose to worship in spirit and truth. Spirit and truth. In March 2016, we moved to Tilbach area, and we seek our Father's will here. So I was writing this when I was still in Western Cape. The butterfly is on the move, and we see the unfolding of a dream. The name of the butterfly is Papillon. Its twofold meaning is that the first part is Papi, about our Father in heaven, and the lion is the Lion of Judah. We are called to worship the one who created us. And we are called by name to choose life and tell others of the good news of an eternal life. Our Father has a plan to rescue all from hell. The photos may fade and the memories may fade. They really might fade. But the message of God's love will never fade away. We have albums of photos, thousands of files of digital pictures saved. These are only looked at if the time is taken to reflect. Look back and consider the journey of grace to the present. Dwell in the now and follow the leading of the Holy Spirit for the now flight. The butterfly is so delicate, but is full of grace and courage. Books can only be written, journals filled, if the writer has lived it, dreamt it, seen a vision, and tells his story. God's story. I write for those who thirst for truth and purpose. What a beautiful voyage thus far. And as I said, an Ebenezer moment thus far. The challenges and creative victories. I wrote this 9/9/2019. And in 2026, if you go and look at the Living Stones channel, and there's 100 videos now, and have a look at where there is the invitation to have a dance. May I have this dance? And you'll see Paul and I sometimes spend time in the garden and praise and worship the one who created us and knows us very well. And it's all glory to him. So this was just an example of one of my journals. And I did say I wanted to share this with you. So the cup is empty, and I flipped through the journal book very quickly because you cannot sum up 60 years in, I don't know, even in 60 minutes. So I don't even know how long this video is going to be, but maybe it just take chunk sizes. And you know that Living Stones is raw and real. And I just want to take you on a journey here on this space, because right now, like, that was a point in time where, yeah, I was in a new space. We had moved to the Valley of Abundance, and we stayed there about 8 years. But then we came to another place, a wonderful place called Eden. So we went from the west coast of South Africa to where we are now on the east coast. And suddenly we have a wonderful adventure ahead of us as a couple. And we are going even further east to the land of Australia. And so Gypsy Bee's life here and the recording in Gypsy Bee Caravan is basically almost over, because soon I'll be taking a flight out. And my wonderful time in this caravan, the safe space to record, will be, that chapter will be finished. And for those who are living nearby, you better get that cup of tea. You better get that coffee very quickly before the space is gone. And that's the thing with suddenly. Suddenly things can change. And suddenly you age 60. And I'm going to leave it like that and say Shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may his face shine upon you, and may he be just so gracious towards you that he's shining his face upon you, and that you will take time to know about this peace, the Shalom peace that he gives us, a free gift. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video. It'll probably be a traveling, the butterfly will be traveling, and we'll see where we land up. Thank you for listening to me and watching this channel, Living Stones. My name is Belinda Ann Weber.